A 13-year-old is out with his mates, full of bravado and carrying a knife. He stabs 19-year-old Ethan, who almost dies. This is where we'd expect the kid to be charged with attempted murder. But no, instead he walks free because according to our justice system, he's too young to understand what he's done.
This is all the scar, pretty much.
19-year-old Ethan Tarrant lives with a permanent reminder of how close he came to death.
I had to cut my chest open, fold it out in half and get to my lung and like my heart. It was just like, yeah, I'm gonna die. I can feel it.
It was through no fault of his own. He was just there having dinner. And you get these wannabe little gangster kids at 13 and 14 years old trying to start a fight.
A summer's night, January last year. Ethan, his then girlfriend and their mate eating dinner at this KFC in Pakenham in Melbourne's outer southeast when some kids begin harassing them.
This one kid starts making kissy faces at his girlfriend. Eventually he goes, "Oh, can you stop doing that?"
While Ethan can't remember that night, his mate Jared saw it all unfold.
So he walked outside and tried to leave the situation. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I saw him thought he punched him in the chest. I looked over, I saw him holding his chest with blood everywhere.
And I was just watching TV and the phone rang. And it was Ethan's girlfriend at the time, screaming down the phone at me that Ethan's been stabbed, Ethan's been stabbed.
Ethan's parents, Leroy and Lisa, race to the scene.
I was terrified and then, trying to keep Leroy calm so we could actually get to Ethan.
And where we got to near where it happened, we saw an ambulance with a police escort and a micro paramedic, like 4 cars all hit the highway in front of us, and we thought straight away that's him. And that's not good because I've never seen 2 police cars giving an escort to an ambulance, you know.
Then a text message from Ethan saying goodbye.
Love you both, I'm sorry. Almost like he was blaming himself. And then we got nothing because he actually passed out then in the ambulance.
And then I pretty much sunk in from it, and then I just remember like slowly like falling asleep, and everything was like going real white. I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm gonna die. Like this is it. Can't believe I was only around for like 18 years. This sucks.
The next thing Ethan remembers, waking from a coma some 12 hours later.
I remember just waking up and being like, looking down at me, like arms and especially my chest, because my chest had a big like split through it.
You know, the kid had apparently come from behind him out of the darkness, and that's why Ethan didn't even see it happen. And he drove it up under his last rib through the heart and lung, and that's the length of the blade is what pierced everything.
Even surgeons couldn't believe Ethan survived the 28-centimetre blade, told he was 1 millimetre from death.
It's just, it doesn't even make sense. Like, if you breathed wrong, if you breathed in a little bit more, if you moved a little bit to the left by 1 millimetre, you'd be dead.
Emergency department figures paint a troubling picture, suggesting knife crime here in Victoria is surging. In just 3 years, there's been a 325% spike in 10 to 19-year-olds turning up at our public hospitals with knife wounds. Ethan's accused attacker, aged 13, was charged, but a year later, the case would be thrown out. It couldn't be proven the boy was old enough to understand what he did was seriously wrong.
Like, you carry a knife, you stab someone, I think to anyone that's just attempted murder, but apparently not.
You know, we were told that one of the kids in the group had faced nearly 300 charges in a 2-year period and had never either appeared in court for them or had never been found guilty of any of those charges. So this is where I'm saying that these kids are just continually offending, knowing that they're never going to face a consequence for it.
Ethan's a champion boxer who's had to give up what he loves most.
I can never box again. I love riding my bikes, but still struggle with pain every day on that. Like, going to bed at night, it's just terrible.
He's got no confidence in authority or the people around him because he's been let down the whole way.
In Victoria, like most states, children under 10 can't be charged. If they're under 14, it must be proven they knew what they did was seriously wrong. But the Victorian government's changing the age of criminal responsibility from 10 to 12 and then 14 by 2027. Since the stabbing, Ethan struggled with taking his shirt off, now bravely bearing all in the hope his message gets through.
Just probably doing the same thing now, just cruising around with his mates, enjoying his actual life. I can't, because I've got to look at this every single day.
And we wonder why knife crime is out of control. If you're carrying a knife, who cares how old you are? You know what can happen.